evening, demons and demonesses. Kwame Wahkan here, and today we're going to be doing a special type of episode. Well, not really a special type of episode, but it was something that I was challenged to on Twitter. You see, there's this thing called the 4 axes test. Now, I didn't really take this test before. I took the I side with test couple months ago, and that, I guess that you can say that kind of went well, although some people said it was quite long. So I hope this one's a lot shorter, and by the way it looks, it seems to be a lot shorter anyway. So we're just going to take this test and see what it's all about. Now, as you can see, I'm using Opera GX, which is a gamer's browser. Now, with Opera GX, I don't know how to describe it, but I basically just use it to download games, check out the latest gaming news and whatnot. Plus, I like the whole cyberpunk look, and plus with the release of Cyberpunk 2077, which I still need to get, by the way. I'm not going to get it for console. I might get it for PC, though, because I heard that the console one has a lot of bugs. But anyway, enough with me rambling. Let's take a look at this. The 4 axes test is a communally developed test that seeks to measure 4 central aspects about a person. To take the 4 axes test, indicate your level of agreement or disagreement with each of the following statements. Okay, let's start with question 1. The market is generally better at allocating resources than the government. Disagree on that. Yeah, I don't really believe that, because, you know, the way the whole pandemic has been handled, we clearly were not prepared to it. And to be fair, you know, I don't really think the government was really prepared for it either way, or I should say we were, but no one was listening to the medical experts, and we all know who that person is, but let me not get there. Positing biological explanations for gender differences is just another way of keeping women down. Now, I don't know what they mean by this. Do they mean by telling someone that they're biologically one thing even though they identify as another? Or are they trying to say that biology, you know, can prove that, you know, gender dysphoria is real or something? I'm going to assume that this question is framed in a turf way, part of that gender critical shit. So yeah, it is a way. I would say, yeah, it is a way of keeping women down. I'm gonna strongly agree on this one. Care, kindness, and mutual respect were the most important values taught to me growing up. Oh yes, I was always taught to respect my elders and whatnot. I grew up in a very conservative Christian household, and that's something that, you know, is taught to everybody. I take an analytical approach to most things. I'd say I'd agree with that. I am interested in skincare and or cosmetics. Cosmetics, not so much, but skincare, yes, because I haven't really told anyone this, but I have eczema and I have psoriasis, so that's something I have to go balls to the wall on. Always have to make sure that my skin is in good condition, because psoriasis and eczema, that's really itchy. Also another reason why I don't grow any hair anymore. I am interested in clothing and fashion. I'd say so. I mean, literally, whenever I see someone on Twitter or Facebook wearing something that I think is very, very good looking, I will comment on it. I like boots, personally, but I also like hats as well. So I guess you can say I kind of agree with that. I have powers that others would not be able to understand. Now, I don't know. I neither agree or disagree. I'm gonna leave that straight in the middle. I am good at absorbing setbacks, and I do not easily lose heart. I'd say I strongly agree with that. It is no big deal for me if I hurt other people's feelings. I disagree. It is. When I hurt someone's feelings, I do kind of feel bad. Then again, sometimes people deserve to have their feelings hurt, but I'd just say I disagree slightly. When I am alone, I nevertheless sometimes feel as if someone or something is watching me. Nope. Well, there is the NSA that's always watching you. and the federal government. But if they're talking about like an entity or like a stalker or anything like that, or if I'm paranoid, then no, definitely not. I'm interested in cooking and baking. You should see the crap that I cook. Maybe I should do cooking videos, but then again, that would probably be off topic and no one would watch them. Economic growth would better help people climb out of poverty than welfare. Disagree. Because, the way I see it, this is something that I bring up a lot, and I've seen many other, progressives bring it up. The stock market is not a good indication of how the country is doing. It's just an indication of how the rich and powerful and the elite are doing. So, yeah, economic growth doesn't really help people out of poverty. You need social safety net programs in order to do that. Rehabilitating criminals is more important than punishing them. I'd say I'd strongly agree, but then again, there are some crimes that are worse than others. Crimes that are, extremely violent, crimes that are extremely sexual. I think there are some people that are just, too far gone and you can't rehabilitate them. So the best thing you can really do is lock them up for the rest of their life. So either way, I'd say I'd strongly agree because, the way I see it, a lot of the criminals that are in jail today are there for non-violent crimes. And, they shouldn't even be in there anyway. When, you put a non-violent person into an environment filled with, violent and, crazy people, they're going to become hardened by that, and then they're going to become violent criminals and whatnot, and it just repeats the cycle. The recidivism rate is high in this country, so I'm going to agree with that. Most people refer to me as sympathetic. I'd say I'm pretty sympathetic. Other people have said that too, so when going through a difficult period, I tend to focus on the good things in my life that help me thrive. I'd agree with that strongly. I monitor my romantic partner, friends, and or family members to find out who is being unfaithful. I don't really think so. Don't get me wrong. I kind of have a feeling like if I'm with a woman and like she's like spending too much time doing one thing, or like she's talking to somebody. I kind of already know, but like I don't like do a snooping and do like this huge investigating about it. I'll just be like, all right, well, if that's what it is, you just tell me. If not, then we're just going to go our separate ways. I just go like slightly disagree. I often have to deal with people who are less important than me. Disagree. I don't know what they mean by people who are less important to me. I have no idea what that's supposed to mean, so I'm just going to disagree with it. The state should ensure that all citizens have a universal basic and I'm not even going to finish reading it. All right, fuck it. Decoupled from labor performance. I agree. Strongly. My country should give more foreign and developmental aid to third world countries. The United States is the richest country in the world. We spend a lot, sending our troops overseas to fight people that didn't attack us, which is money wasted. So, that's what we should be doing. We should be aiding other countries, not just imperializing and all that other shit. I like caring for children and animals. I do have a daughter, and I do love her a lot. Don't I, Shao? You daddy's baby. Had her since 2009. Would you believe she's 11 years old, but yet she still looks and acts like a puppy? I love you, baby. So what should... Matter of fact, I'm going to let you decide. What should I pick for this answer? Should I agree or should I disagree? I think I should agree with that one, don't you think? I'm interested in cars and or tools, yes. Literally just got my car fixed today. It was very, very expensive, but, trying to learn a few things so that I won't have to go to the shop as much. I heard it is cheaper to, fix a car yourself, because at least You're only just buying the parts and you're not charging yourself for labor. Government regulation of business is likely to lead to inefficiency. I disagree. Can't let these businesses regulate themselves because the only thing that they're going to do is cut corners, and that's not something you want to see happen. Political correctness has gotten out of hand. I totally agree with that. It's like, I look at the way things used to be when I was growing up, when I was a wee lad, and I'm like, you know what, that stuff really wouldn't fly today. People would just get like, for example, the cartoon Johnny Bravo. I was watching that a lot of times when I was growing up. It used to show on Cartoon Network. And I know for a fact, with the way political correctness has gotten, people would be offended by that cartoon if it aired on television today. They would be like, why is this big blonde hunk, saying all this stuff to women and flirting with women? And any other person, watching that growing up, I knew it was a cartoon. I knew it was fictional. I knew no one really acted like that. But then again, sometimes you do have people that act like that, and they can't tell the difference between fantasy and reality. They don't, you have all these lads out here that don't understand that no means no and all that other shit, and that's no way for anyone to behave. But, I don't really believe in censoring art or anything like that. So, yeah, I do believe that political correctness has gotten out of hand. There's many other examples, but there's just too many to list in this one short video. I'm interested in competitive sports. Oh, yes. Favorite sport, I'm going to have to say, I honestly don't know what my favorite is. I watch hockey, I watch basketball, I watch the NFL sometimes. I'm a Giants fan, I'm a New York Islanders fan, I'm also a New Jersey Devils fan, and I'm also a Sixers fan. So I'd say hockey's got to be because hockey's the only sport where I like more than one team. So yeah, I'd say I'm very interested in competitive sports. I avoid cursing. Oh, this is like a dead giveaway. I curse in every one of my fucking videos. I even just curse right now. And personally, I don't see the reason why anyone should avoid cursing. It's part of the human language. That's how people express themselves. If you don't like it, then you can kiss my furry little butt. Capital punishment should be an option in some cases. Nope. I don't believe in the death penalty. The death penalty doesn't solve anything. All it does is, it really doesn't do anything, because here's the thing. If someone commits a violent, disgusting crime, you're telling me that the best thing we can do is to stick a needle in them and then have them fall asleep. Yeah, that's some form of punishment. And also another thing, what if we kill the wrong person? What happens then? There's no revive potions, there's no respawns, there's no unlimited continues, no extra lives, no cheat codes. When you kill someone, they're fucking dead. And the whole response is, oh, well, we'll just compensate the family. Well, compensating the family doesn't bring that person back to life. They're fucking dead. It's wrong. It's inhumane. There's a reason why it's banned in Europe. So I think the United States should follow suit. The breakdown of the traditional family. I'm just going to disagree with that, but I'm going to read it anyway. The breakdown of the traditional family structure is responsible for many of the evils in our society. I completely disagree with that. There's lots of people that are, they're born in a traditional family and they become really fucked up people. There's lots of people that were born in, a different type of family. Either they were raised by their grandparents, or they were raised, or they have two dads, or they have two moms. And from what I understand and what science and statistics have shown, if you're born in like a same-sex household and you have same-sex parents, you actually turn out better than what most, traditional families happen to be. So, yeah, I'm definitely disagreeing with this one. What some considered hate speech is really nothing but an inseparable part of free speech. Completely agree. Now, some people might get mad at me for this, but I'm going to say it once and I'm going to say it 1,000 times if I have to. Hate speech should be protected as free speech. You want to know why? because nowadays anything is labeled as hate speech. You go on Facebook, you can literally write something like completely as a joke, and Facebook, nobody will report it. Facebook will automatically flag your comment. They read certain words, and if you use those certain words in combination in a sentence, it's automatically flagged as hate speech. And there's nothing you can do about it. You can appeal the decision, but it's usually done by a robot or something like that, and it just flags everything as hate speech. You get banned from Facebook for 30 days. And Twitter is no better, and YouTube also does the same thing. Except YouTube won't ban you for 30 days. What they do is, if they see that you write something that disagrees with their narrative, they will automatically just delete it, and you won't even know about it. So, yeah, I don't like this idea of banning hate speech or, complaining about hate speech, because at the end of the day, the more censorship you have, the more people are going to utilize it and use it against you. We've seen it many times before with Alex Jones. Everybody wanted to ban Alex Jones. I mean, it literally just happened today. It's a friend of mine, and they had posted a status like almost like an entire year ago. And then what Twitter did was Twitter changed their terms of service halfway through the year. And now their tweet got flagged, and they got locked out of their account over something that happened 10 months ago because Twitter changed their terms of service on hate speech. So now you can't threaten anybody. Well, not even threaten. You can't wish anything bad that happens to anybody. If someone says, "Oh, I wish so and so got hit by so and so," that's considered hate speech according to Twitter's new terms of service. And since Twitter constantly changes their service like every few months, you never know when you might get hit. I could even get hit. You might even get hit. So this is why I support this decision. People, don't get me wrong. I've had people say hateful comments to me all the time, calling me the N-word, calling me this and that and the other. You know what I do? Just ignore it, or I just troll the hell out of them until they eventually give up. And personally, I have a lot more fun doing that, because it's no fun having YouTube censor hateful comments. Sometimes I might want to read the comments. Sometimes I might want to respond to the comments. Who are you to delete my fucking comments? It's my channel, all right? I have no filter, so let people say whatever hateful shit they want, all right? I'm a grown man. I can fucking take it. A strong military is a better foreign policy than diplomacy. Disagree? Nope. I am interested in video games and or board games. Yep, I'm very good at board games. Also very good at video games, especially RPGs. A country should never go to war without the support of the international community. Agree? Overall, the minimum wage does more harm than good. Disagree. We need a decent minimum. My thing about the minimum wage is this. I mean, people always want to say, "Oh, it leads to mass layoffs and anything like that." No. What leads to that is called greed. All right? If companies were able to get away with paying a person a penny an hour, they would do that. That's how these corporations are. That's how these rich people are. They want to hoard all the money. But even though damn well they know they can't spend all that money in their fucking lifetime. So what use to? It's just fucking greed. I often get into situations with other people where they end up hurting or disappoint me. Not often. That doesn't often happen. And if it does, we'll try to, do a compromise or something. I had a happy childhood. I guess you could say, could be mixed. I'll leave that in the middle. I have often been told I have a strong personality. Oh, I'll slightly agree with that. I've never doubted my parents' love for me. Always agree to that. Yeah, my parents clearly do kind of love me, although they can be very annoying. I take a stand for what I believe in. Agree. Speculation on the stock exchange is less desirable than any other kinds of economic activity. I kind of agree with that. There are only two genders. Disagree. There's many others. I mean, my thing is this. it all depends on culture too. In some places they identify 5 genders. In other cultures they identify at least 12. I'm not sure how many there are because I don't count. So, but I've heard people. I know people that identify as many different things. So yeah, there's definitely more than 2. When I think of the future, I just know in my heart that good will prevail over evil. Slightly disagree. Yeah, kind of slightly disagree. I mean, Bernie's lost 2 elections, and we all know he's good. And like I said, as long as there's corruption, as long as there's money involved in everything, evil is eventually going to win because that's the side where the money is. Money is the root of all evil, anyway. Using he as shorthand for he or she is convenient and harmless. Disagree. You gotta, if someone doesn't want to be called a he, then don't call them a he. If somebody wants to be called a she, then you call them a she, right? You don't be calling somebody like he or anything like that. That's kind of disrespectful. I surely wouldn't want anyone, disrespecting me, so I'm not going to disrespect anyone else, That's the part of being a Satanist. You have mutual respect for somebody. If they have enough respect to call you by your preferred pronouns, then you should have no problem doing the same. I should be allowed to protect myself and my family if I don't feel safe. Oh, agree. Who wouldn't? Equality is more important than economic growth. Let's say agree. I assume they're talking about income equality. Equality when it comes, to the class system, the working class and the poor and whatnot, making sure they do have, opportunities that other people don't have. So, yeah, I would say I'd agree with this. I'm interested in technology and gadgets. Oh, of course. Can't have a podcast without the latest technology and gadgets. I crave extreme experiences because life is generally so boring. Slightly disagree. I don't know. Be extreme, but matter of fact, I do. I do kind of. I'm gonna just leave that in the middle. Anyone who is not a white male is in some sense oppressed in our society. I disagree. Completely disagree on that. The way I see it, some people want to bring up privilege. Well, technically, everybody has a privilege. If you were to break it down issue by issue, case by case, there are some cases where, a black person might have more privilege than someone else, depending on the situation. I'm not really a racialist that's obsessed about race. I don't like playing the race card. So, yeah, I'm disagreeing with that one. I'm interested in interior decoration. Well, I do plan on, remodeling. I do plan on changing my room around a bit too. Because I want to make this house a lot more satanic than it currently is. In today's day and age, many people refrain from expressing viewpoints that are generally sensible because they're afraid of cancel culture and social media backlash. I agree with that 100%. This whole cancel culture thing, it's gone completely mad, Between the whole political correctness, between cancel culture, between, outrage culture and always, being... the way I see it, there are people out here that intentionally take things out of context and go out of their way just so they can be offended by something. All right, so basically the story about that is there was this woman and, she took a picture of her daughter. And what happened was she wrote under the caption, this is my beautiful little monkey. All these people were calling this woman racist because she called her daughter a monkey. And I'm like, who hasn't been called a monkey? I've been called a monkey by my cousins. I've been called a monkey by my own mother. And my mother is also black. So to say that, so-and-so is racist because they called their daughter a monkey, I know a lot of people that call their kids monkeys. And then there was another incident. This is something that happened to me personally. I was speaking to one of my friends, and basically I said to them, I said, "Rock on, dude." And then somebody literally, some random person literally came out of my way and said that I misgendered that person. Because I said, "Rock on, dude." And I'm like, what do you mean I misgendered them? Like, we've been friends for like well over 15 years. Like, how am I misgendering? Because you're assuming that they identify as a man by saying the word dude. And I'm like, I always thought dude was like a gender neutral term anyway, because like I fucking call anything dude. When my computer freezes, I'm like, really, dude? Well, I mean, people call me dude, I call them dude. Dude is pretty much used by anyone and everyone these days. And this person literally had to blow it out of proportion just so they can have something to be offended by or cancel me over, because I called a friend that I knew for well over 15 years, and I called them dude. And they're saying that that's not gender neutral. And by the way, the person that I was speaking to was cisgender. So they literally just went out of their way just so they could find something to be offended about. And it's utterly ridiculous. I know I can always count on my family to be there for me. Well, they always have been there for me, so. Others are conspiring to harm me. I'd say I disagree. I mean, yeah, there are some people out there that want to see me fail, but I don't believe that there's a lot of them out there trying to do that. I am interested in weapons and or military history. Yeah, I do agree on that. World War II is pretty interesting. The French Revolution is interesting. American Revolution is interesting. In fact, I literally live in a town filled to the brim with Revolutionary War history. So many landmarks, artifacts, battlefields. New Jersey was like a key state in the Revolutionary War, so. I've been attracted to someone who identified as being non-binary with regards to their gender identity. Oh, of course. I yield when others intimidate me. Neither agree or disagree on that one. I've been attracted to someone of my own gender. Disagree on that. And no offense to all of the hot guys that are following me on Facebook and Twitter and wherever else. Kwame loves you and Satan loves you. Using man to mean both men and women is one of many ways in which sexist language diminishes women's potential. I kind of agree with that. Yeah, slightly agree with that. The government should redistribute wealth from the rich to the poor. Definitely, obviously. I'm usually calm with few negative emotions. So I slightly agree with that. A person can change their gender depending on their mood or the social situation they find themselves in, i.e. being gender fluid. Oh, of course. I've met several people like that. There is at heart a conflict between the interests of business and the interests of society. Oh, yes. So lots of times society believes one thing and then big business believes in something else. Immigration to my country should be minimalized and strictly controlled. Disagree with that. Let all of them in. There's a reason why they're coming in. They're not coming in to do any harm. They're coming in to better their lives because they want a piece of the American dream, which many people have been robbed of, but I'll get more into that later. Let's finish this because this was the last question. Let's see what I got. So, this is rather surprising. Gender access, 55.4% male and 44.6% female. So I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I don't even know what, I don't know where I'd identify with the feminine traits, but yeah, that's neither here or there. Personality axis, I'm a normie. I never really thought I would consider myself a normie. 78.6%. Lifestyle axis, progressive. Well, I kind of already knew that. Political axis, left wing, 86.2%. Yep, and I'm proudly a socialist. I literally just recently put the rose on my profile because, you know, it's kind of strange. Everybody was accusing me of being a right-wing Trump supporter, which is strange because, you know, I literally post things about trans rights every fucking day. I post about income inequality. I'm literally following everybody that's a part of the Green Party, including Howie Hawkins, Angela Walker, Jill Stein, fucking Ajamu Baraka. Literally, like all the Green Party people, all the Peace and Freedom Party people, all the socialist people. Barely, I don't think I'm following any, right wingers or conservatives on Twitter or Facebook or any social media site. So I don't know how anyone could, identify me as being a right winger. Alright, that's all I have to say about this test. Hope you found this video rather enjoyable. I'll speak to you guys about that later. Alright, you guys take care, stay metal, hail Satan, and I'll see you guys in the next video.